Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, my name is Messi Afis and my friends Ahmad Rafi and Putri Pebianti. We are from Group 12. Today in this occasion we will be presenting on the topic about politeness, power and solidarity, nonverbal communication, face work and hedging, politeness and turn-taking within the framework of critical discourse analysis or CDA. Okay, the references from Mariel Blur and Thomas Blur. Let's begin the first material delivered by me. Okay, we talk about definition of non-verbal communication. Before we diving into politeness, power, and solidarity, let's first talk about non-verbal communication. What is non-verbal communication? Non-verbal communication is the transmission of message or information without the use of words, which can be conveyed through gesture, facial expression, eye contact, posture, and spatial behavior. So it mean communicationnya itu tidak menggunakan words ya teman-teman, tetapi kita menggunakan gesture and our body and our eye contact to communication, not words, nggak gunain mouths juga, tapi our gesture, our body. So next, let's talk about definition of politeness, power, and solidarity. So the first is politeness. What is politeness? Okay, based on Mariel Blur and Thomas Blur, politeness as a communication strategy used to maintain social harmony, minimize conflict, and express respect and consideration for others. Kalau itu yang politeness. How about power? Power according Blur juga, power in communication refers to the ability of an individual or group to influence other, whether explicitly through authority or implicitly through linguistic and non-linguistic means. Next is solidarity. Solidarity is described by Mariel Blur and Thomas Blur also, the sense of belonging and social connection that is expressed in interaction through shared language, gesture, and mutual support. Selanjutnya mari kita lebih perdalam lagi politeness, how politeness in nonverbal communication. Nah, politeness is often communicates non-verbally through various means. Polite gestures such as bowing or shaking hands, smiling as a sign of warmth or friendliness, soft eye contact to avoid intimidation, maintaining appropriate physical distance based on cultural norms. For example, in some cultures, a slight bow is a common way to show respect, while in others, a firm handshake conveys confidence and politeness. Nah, itu beberapa contoh dari politeness nonverbal communication. How about power? Power can also be communicated nonverbally in different ways, such as dominant body posture, such as sitting in higher position or standing tall, speech tone and speed, where a slower control tone may indicate authority. Jadi biasanya kalau orang yang have a power itu dia bisa mengontrol cara berbedanya, cara dia berbicara itu sedikit berbeda ya. Akan kayak kalau menurutku elegan gitu, dia mempunyai tone yang bagus dan tahu bagi memposisikan diri gitu. And prolonged and intense eye contact to assert dominance, and use of space where powerful individuals tend to take up more space. For instance, in a corporate setting, a manager may maintain strong eye contact and confident posture to establish authority over employees. Nah, itu about power. Okay, next let's talk about solidarity. Solidarity in non-verbal communication. Solidarity is essential for building relationship and social connection. It is often expressed through friendly and comfortable eye contact, like physical touch, such as a pat on the shoulder, a pen, body posture making other feel includes mirroring gesture where people unconsciously imitate each other movement to show connection. For example, friends who are comfortable with each other often maintain open body language and may use friendly gesture to reinforce their bond. Nah, itu beberapa contohnya dari solidarity. Nah, examples in social context. Let's look at how politeness, power, and solidarity play out in different settings. Jadi mungkin dari ketiga itu akan terlihat sama, tapi ada perbedaannya, guys. For example, in workplace, manager use dominant posture to assert authority, while employees may use respectful gestures to show politeness. Jadi ada perbedaan. How in friendship, friends use relaxed and informal gesture to express solidarity and connection. Now, how about cross-cultural interaction? Different cultures have varying expression of politeness and solidarity. For instance, in Japan, bowing is a polite gesture, while in Western cultures, a handshake is more common. Nah, jadi ada perbedaan. Understanding these differences is key to effective cross-cultural communication. Nah, jadi kesimpulannya dari 3 poin itu, non-verbal communication is fundamental aspect of politeness, power, and solidarity. CDA help use analyze how these elements shape social interaction. By being more aware of nonverbal cues, we can enhance our communication skill and navigate social dynamic more effectively. Nah, mungkin itu dari aku dari ketiga poin dari poin-poin itu. Selanjutnya dilanjutkan oleh Putri Febianti tentang hedging and apa tadi, pokoknya ada di Febi, kepada Febi disilahkan.
So the next point is about face work. What is face work? Face work is refers to the strategies people use to maintain their self-image and the image of others. Of course, in communication. It is based on Erving Goffman concept about face, which represent a person's desired social identity in interaction. There is 4 types of face work. The first one is positive face work. So what is positive face? Positive face is the use to like, respected, value by others. For example, complimenting someone before making a request. Okay, the next one is negative face. What is negative face? Negative face is the need for autonomy and freedom from imposition. For example, when you saying, I don't mean to bother you, but before asking a favor. Okay, the next one is preventive face work. This is the third one. Preventive face work is action taken to avoid face loss, such as politeness strategies. The last one is corrective face work. Corrective face work is strategies used to repair damaged face, like apologizing or explaining oneself. Okay, so there I will explain some, tell you about example of face work in communication. For example, when you in a workplace, an employee might soften criticism by saying, you did a great job, but I think we can remove this part, blah blah blah, to maintain positive face. Another example, a lecturer or a professor might say, I know this is difficult topic, but let's try to work through it, to reduce negative face work or face traits. Okay, let's to the next point. Next point is about hedging. What is hedging? Hedging is the use. Okay, the next point is about hedging. What is hedging? Hedging is the use of cautious or non-committal language to reduce the impact of statements, making them sound less direct or absolute. Hedging helps in avoiding confrontation, showing politeness, and acknowledging uncertainty. There is common hedging strategies. The first one is using modal verbs, as you know, like might, could, would, and may. This might be a good idea. There is the example. Okay, the next is using qualifiers, like somewhat, little, kind of, or relatively. For example, the results are somewhat unclear. There is the example. Okay, the next is adverbs of probability, like possibly, probably, perhaps. Perhaps we should consider the plan. There is the example. Okay, the last, no, not the last, passive voice, like it is believed that instead of I believe that. Okay, last but not least, indirect praising. For example, like I was wondering if you could help me instead of just help me. Okay, I will give you some example of hedging in a communication. The first one is a student in class might say, I think the answer could be blah blah blah, to avoid sounding too confident or wrong.
Hello everyone, my name is Ahmad Ravi Fawzi, and here I would like to explain about two materials. The first is politeness and the second is turn taking. So we'll start from the first material is politeness. So here we go. So politeness is how we show respect and kindness in conversation. It helps us maintain good relationship and avoid making others uncomfortable. There is main types of politeness. The first is positive politeness, and then negative politeness, and then off record politeness, and then last is bold on record. So we move to the next slide to see the explanation. The first is positive politeness or being friendly. This is when you try to connect with others and make them feel like or valued. For example, wow, you so good at painting. I like it. That is how you do the positive politeness. Alright, the second, off recording politeness or hinting. This is when you say something indirectly to avoid being too direct. For the example, I can say, it's a bit chilly in here, isn't it? That the speaker might actually be hinting that they want the window closed, but doesn't say it directly. And then the third is negative politeness or being careful. So this is when you try not to bother or pressure others. Like the example is, I'm sorry to bother you, but would you it possible for me to borrow your book? In that conversation, the speaker is being careful to not impose. And then the last is bold on record or being direct. This is when you say things clearly without hiding your intention, usually in urgent or casual situation. Like for the example is, can you pass me the apple please? Like that. So we do so to the point, not really make it confused or make it being too direct. Alright, maybe that is all that I can explain about main types of politeness, and then we move to the next material is about turn taking. So turn taking is about knowing when to speak and when to listen during a conversation. It keeps the talk smooth and fair. And then how it works. Taking turns. One person talks, then pause to let the other person respond. Like for the example, you say, how was your day? Then you wait for the other person to answer. And then the second is knowing when to talk. Listen for a pause or a question to know it's your turn to speak. Like for the example, when someone say, what do you think? It's your cue to reply. And then the third is using signals. People use body language like nodding or words like uh-huh or go on to show they are listening to ready to talk. And then the last is avoiding interruption. Let the speaker finish before you start talking. Interrupting can seem rude unless it's an emergency or you're very close with them. So for the last thing is avoiding interruption is situational. So it's like you give them a chance to finish their speech or their maybe their speech, for example, and then you wait to the speaker to stop speaking, like that. Maybe that is all that I can explain about turn taking, and thank you for paying attention.